Hey everybody, it's Mike, and you're watching the Real Black podcast. Today we've got a very special trio of guests. If you don't know, now you know. This coming Saturday, May 17th, 2025, in Philadelphia, it's the 24th annual East Coast Black Age of Comic Convention. And with us are three of the board members, people that are bringing it together to share with us the information that you need to know, the schedules, the history of the festival, so on and so forth. Without further ado, I bring to you Akin Brown, Stephanie Brandford, and Shankar Davis. Welcome to the show.
Yep. Thank you for having us, Mike. Appreciate it.
Whew. That was a lot to get through. But it's 24 years. This is incredible. I mean, I've Real Black has been a part of it many times over the years, as either presenting stuff or just being hanging out and getting comics, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
What can we expect this year, Akin?
Yeah. So again, thank you for having us. And we're always grateful for platforms like yourself and the work that you do for the community, not only for Philadelphia community in the arts, but also just people worldwide that are interested in Black films and content and entertainment. But the East Coast Black Age of Comics Convention is definitely a vision of our founder, Mr. Yumi Odom, who couldn't be here this evening. He's a scholar and author as well. This year, we're definitely looking forward to seeing all of our attendees and community members come in because we have some very nice things coming up this year. Not only are we going to have our array of free workshops for youth and adults, ranging from drawing workshops, illustration workshops, from professionals that like to come in and teach people who are of various art levels, how they can improve their craft. But we're also going to have some interesting screenings this year. And we're also going to be introducing some educational workshops for our youth because our mission is not only to empower youth through image, but also try to improve literacy. And that's always been two of our foremost missions in our walk during our convention. But this year we're going to have a screening from Jesse Sunkwa Mills, who hails from Ghana, West Africa. He's going to be screening actually two projects. One is called Asantewa, which is more of a historical drama. And then the second one is going to be called The Guardians, which is kind of, for lack of a better term, like a four-man band, kind of super youth Ghanaian superheroes with different colored uniforms and different powers. And, it's really going to be cool. And, we were very fortunate to have that. We're also going to have Ninja Man, which is actually your project that you're working with. And we're definitely happy to have you. I think the last time you were one of our guests was back in 2012 when I think we were at
I feel like the show
Enterprise.
Black Film Now. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. And we were doing a film feature at that time as well. I think 2012 was the last time we made like a real big venture into bringing guests that had film projects. We were talking about not just comics, but how Black entertainment and Black heroism can be seen on screen, and what people in our community are actually venturing off into that realm of entertainment. And so you were obviously, with your work, was definitely one of the people that we wanted to promote. So this year we're kind of coming back to that, and we're not just looking at people in the city or even in the country. We're looking at people that are able to be with us virtually and to actually share some work. So we're definitely looking forward to a very successful year. A year that's going to be a lot of fun and some new things that's coming up.
Right. So either Stephanie or Shankar. I mean, so what exactly is meant by East Coast Black Age of Comics?
So I could talk about when I came on board in the 2006 and then up to when the organization was incorporated in 2008. There was an organization with Trottel only who had just Black Age of Comics. And so the idea of him being in Chicago and then having East Coast Black Age of Comics being in Philadelphia, the idea was there being a community being formed with having multiple events going on in different areas. And so when I joined in, I was thinking, there was growth going on with having, multiple events starting up. So that's why, for me, I was, encouraged to join in, and lo and behold, these many years later, I'm still here.
Black Age of Comics is a very specific type of.
Yes. Again, the title, like Miss Stephanie had mentioned, part of the title, or the Black Age movement, has been coined by Mr. Tortel On Lee, who unfortunately made transition this year. So we definitely want to honor him this year with all his work. He's also a Glyph Award winner for his work and his pioneership, if I could say that, in this genre of highlighting the creators that were around the 80s, 90s kind of decade. If people are familiar with comics, there's the golden age, silver age of comics, and what Mr. On Lee, with his vision, created was highlighting the era in which things, products like milestone books were coming out in the 90s, Brother Man Comics, which came out in the 90s, and there were a number of other grassroots, if you will, comic book producers and creators coming out around that time. So you had the Nubians, you had Heru, you had a number of books. My book didn't actually fall within that, but the spirit of ECBACC is that even when books like mine and others come out, let's say 10 years later, 5 years later in the 2000s, we still kind of point back to that mission of almost like for us, by us. You know what I mean? For all to enjoy, if I can kind of put that in the parenthesis after the FUBU part, right? So Black Age of Comics is still going strong, even if it was, kind of harkened and created, back in the 90s as a banner to kind of catch all and kind of describe the movement of creators that looked like us, that were looking for audience to kind of recognize them. And it's still going strong after all these years. So we give thanks.
I appreciate that. Well, so Shankar, I mean, how long have you been with ECBACC at this point?
Wow. I actually started as a volunteer, not on the board. And I want to say the year that we had, the first year we had Dwayne McDuffie. What year was that?
Oh, wow.
That was between 206 and 209, between that, 206 and 209.
So we're talking about
it would have been after we incorporated, I think. So it might have been 9.
It might have been 9.
Yeah, I think it was after we incorporated.
Okay.
I feel like I beat you then, Shankar, because the first time I came to ECBACC was to meet Nichelle Nichols.
I was there, but I was there as a volunteer.
Oh, okay. I feel like that was 2006-ish. But we have to check. We're all getting old, folks.
Yeah, these numbers, man. Don't ask me how old I am.
20 some odd years of collecting comics. And how is your shelf neater than mine, Shankar?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Your space is beautiful. It's amazing.
I'm sorry, say that again. Oh, yeah. You can see. I'm already out of space. I have stuff on the floors now.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, so what can we expect this year? Beyond what Akin has told us already. I mean, should I bring money to buy books? Am I meeting
definitely
authors?
Bring your imagination, bring your creativity. If you have children in the middle school years, bring those guys. We have a tabletop gaming session this year. We have a D&D game going, one created by us for us. Baba can tell you the name of the person.
Yeah, it's there's actually a game. I'm not sure if everyone's been able to kind of see the movement on it online. It's called Zairoo, Zairoo, and it is created by a think tank actually in California, and this kind of just gives you the idea of how
The reach.
far-reaching ECBACC is. We're going to have one of the representatives come out. His name is Malumbo Thylot. He's going to be the spokesperson for the group that's created a RPG game that uses Black mythology to move the story along. So it's using things like griots, it's using the names of warriors, it's using the not only different time periods specific to African history, but they're also if you think about things like Middle Earth and different kinds of Earth, they're also like playing with the toposphere of African countries and empires and kind of making their own world within the Zairoo, I guess, worldview or whatever. And they're going to be presenting that game at ECBACC for the first time. This is going to be the first time it's ever been premiered, so you can actually kind of like see how it actually works. So we're really excited about that.
And not only that, the workshops and panels that I alluded to earlier are going to be fun and informative. Also, we have our own cosplay contest, AfriCoz, where you come as a character you create. This specifically, we want you to come as a character you create. However, people come as the people they most admire, and that's fine too. But one of the catchphrases our vice president came up with was "Many may cause, but few were AfriCoz."
Yeah, that definitely talks about how special it is to do that. And that was actually created, I think, very close to the time that you visited us, Brother Mike. Around that 2012 area where we're at the Enterprise Center, where we had the very first AfriCoz contest. And we didn't know how it was going to go. We've been talking about it for a long time. You know, up until then, we've been doing ECBACC for maybe 11 years almost. Because we were in Temple, and then we were at what was that, the Marriott?
We were in the hotels downtown.
Yes. Yeah, with the hotels downtown for a while.
I'm sorry, and Philadelphia, Center City.
Center City, yes.
I'm betraying my Baltimore-ness.
Yes, that's okay. That's okay. And yeah, we didn't really know how it was going to take off, but it actually did. You know, people came as their favorite Black characters, and that's what we were looking for. ECBACC has always been a space, and I'll put it in these terms. It's always been a safe cultural place. So if you ever felt like you were a cosplayer and, you know, you wanted to cosplay or dress or mask, you know, obviously displaying your beautiful brown melanin in your character, then obviously you should feel comfortable in doing that. But as we know, you know, there's been trials and challenges with our people doing that. And so ECBACC created a space where you can do that. We said, hey, come as your favorite Black character, and, you know, we'll celebrate that. So people have come as Starboy, almost forgot about him, from DC Comics. You know, people have come as Roadblock from G.I. Joe. People have come as Captain Marvel, Static Shock, Black Panther before the movie. People don't remember that the days of ECBACC predates the Black Panther films, and that many a times it wasn't uncommon to see 2 or 3 Black Panthers just walking around the place in live action. And, you know, and that was the time the internet was like, oh, it'll be a B movie. It'll be trash. It won't make money international. And obviously we saw what happened. But ECBACC was always that live action place where you would see a Black Panther.
Going around the circle again, where exactly is it going to be?
Okay.
It's at the Temple Student Faculty Center, Broadman, Ontario, on Saturday, May 17th. Doors open at 11, and it is free to the public.
All right. And so our screening of Searching for Ninja Man, the making of the Black Ninja, will be on Saturday from 11 to 12. So get there early, and we'll have some very special surprises and giveaways on my part. So
Yes.
But any final thoughts? I mean, you guys have been together for so long. I'll just leave this to you.
These people.
For me, so as logistics lady, I would love it that when the people visit, you go to the entire convention because I've worked so hard to lay it out for you. So make sure you go to the front and all the way to the back, the whole place.
Yeah, sometimes what happens is people kind of see the awe of coming off the elevator and seeing the registration table and seeing the immediate tables. They forget that there's another bank of tables on the other side. So, and that's where the workshops are. So, hopefully people will circulate a little bit more. But, for me, I've seen the circulation happen because a lot of times I'm moving through and navigating through some of the workshops more than some people. So I kind of see where the kids are and where the families are going and where they're, what workshops or what panels are resonating with who. So, I definitely do see a flow. But this year, hopefully we have more of a flow. And it'll be fun. Whatever the flow is, it'll be fun. That's all I can say.
It's family.
It really is. Yes, definitely.
But that's just it. We want all the families to come out. We want you to bring the children, your aunts, your uncles, your friends, people who read comics, people who don't, just to get the information, see other people doing something that you maybe yourself want to do. Come out to ECBACC.
Yeah,
right on.
Because you know what? Where else are you going to have so many people giving positive imagery to our families?
Yeah.
Right on.
Absolutely.
Ladies, gentlemen, thank you for taking time. I know it's so close to the actual day. I really appreciate you taking the time to be a part of the Reelblack podcast. And once again, it's Saturday, May 17th. Broaden, Ontario, in North Philadelphia, Temple University. You don't want to miss it. I'll be there 11 a.m. to noon, screening work in progress of my latest film, and I'll be hanging out all day because I want to be a part of the action too. So,
absolutely, great to have you. Great to have you.
Drop. Make sure you comment. Let us know what your favorite comic book is or favorite Black age comic book character would be. I'm interested. I'll read every comment. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Have a good night.